Here's the next patient or victim, if you will. And this Electrolarm is actually in really good shape. It has this crack here, but I plan on getting that out. A lot of the Electrolarms that I've worked on have had big chunks of bakelite missing from the back here. So this shouldn't be much anything. The way I get started on one of these, it's really simple. There's 3 screws right here, and if we take those out, the case and the rest of the clock will separate. So what I'm going to do is take out these 3 screws. And another thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take out the light bulb holder. So there's a light in this clock that illuminates the face, and the light bulb has this really long stem, and it unscrews from the back here. So while I've got it here, I'm just going to go ahead and take that out, and that's this right here. So turn this counterclockwise, it should screw out and lift up out of there, and that's what I'm talking about. Looks like it's got the wrong bulb. Yeah, I'll have to take care of that too. So now that I've done that, if I simply turn it over like this and lift up, expose the entire mechanical part of the clock, and what's left is the case with the lens and the bezel, the front case and the lens and the bezel, which we'll look at later. What I like to do at this point is go ahead and take this screw out. This screw is holding the wires from the alarm switch and what I call the alarm coil. I don't know if it's technically called that, but take that out. So those 2 are loose. I can go ahead and take these 2 out as well, loosen them up. Now take a look at the face. So what I like to do is to remove the hands at this point. So this right here, the sweep hand, should simply pull out. Okay, so I'm going to try to find something skinny that I can get in under there, trying and ease it out. Sometimes these will be stuck in oil, dried oil like cement, and other times they'll just slide right out. This one's gonna come out. Okay, so put that off to the side. The next thing to get the hands off is we're gonna have to turn this nut right here. So I just turned it with my fingers counterclockwise and actually loosened, which is nice. Sometimes I gotta get pliers on there to get that going on. Then I can remove the hour hand, and then I can remove, the minute hand, then I can remove the hour hand, which usually gives me much more of a fight. So I don't want to damage this face, that's for sure. So I'm going to get in here with my specialized tool for removing hands, see if I can rock it back and forth and convince it to come up. It looks like the answer is no. I've had a devil of a time with some of these hour hands, getting them to come up. But what I'm not going to do is use excessive force, because that can lead to a big scratch across the face. So take a look at it from the side now. What I'm going to do is just gently put my screwdriver in there and then turn it. And I'm going to do that on the other side, and that should get the hour hand to come off. Yeah, there we go. All right, so now we got the hour hand off. The only thing left is the alarm hand. For this one, I should be able to use this tool to get it off. All right, the next thing I call this, I don't know what officially it's called, but I call it the beauty ring. So this is on here, and when the light bulb's in here and on, this area right here reflects the light back onto the clock face to light it up. So now this thing, this one is just sitting on there. It's not even attached, but if you look at it, there's a little notch right there that corresponds to a notch right there. And a lot of them that I've seen, they have been pressed in on either side, right where that screw is, so that a little bit is just folded around this plate to hold it on there. This one just popped right off, so that's good. So the next thing is the face of the clock, which we want to put in a safe place. And then this is what we're looking at. And the next thing to come off is going to be this part right here. I guess we could call that the front plate. It's not like any other front plate that I've seen. Maybe they did use it on other things. I just haven't come across it yet. But it also may be particular to the Electrolarm, because this has to do with the way the Electrolarm is set up to sound the alarm at the time you set it for. So once I take those screws out, this piece lifts off. Then I have this piece here. Now, to get this off, what I'm going to have to do is actually go around and spin this around until I can get to this little set screw right here. Okay. So instead of doing that while it's in the case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this entire bit. And the way that I'm going to do that is by taking out these two screws. So if I take out these two screws, the only thing that's connecting this plate and everything on top of it to the rest of the clock is this wire over here. And this wire is coming from the alarm switch, and it's held on to the back here by a nut. So I'm going to have to get that nut disconnected, and then the movement should all come out, and I'll have access to the back of it, and I'll be able to continue disassembling it. So here's the nut that I'm talking about right here, and I'm going to have to just get into that tight spot and turn it counterclockwise until I can get it off with my fingers. And this looks like it's not even that tight on there. This isn't doing me much good. But once you loosen this thing, it goes really fast. It's easy to get off. And I'm just gonna take this and try and get it moving. Okay, and in my haste, I forgot to mention that we actually, before we can pull this movement out, we are going to have to take off the time set knob. So let's get this nut going, take it off. And this is an awkward thing. It's also awkward putting it back on. But this is it. Okay. Looks like we've got a piece of this clock that is broken off. So we'll have to deal with that when the time comes. Okay, so in my haste, I forgot to mention we're going to have to take this off to remove all this movement here. So I'm going to take my vice grips, padded vice grips, and hold this, and then see if I can get this to turn. I can, so that's good. And I'm going to have to take this off. Now, this entire movement should lift out of there. still holding on over here. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna come back in the next video and we'll dismantle this and take this apart.